So you two are sisters, and you both have fetal alcohol syndrome. Does that mean you're exactly alike?
No. It's kind of hard some days. Like, it's kind of hard because when I go out into the world, I watch kids and I watch their families, and I look at them and I think they're with their real families, with their real mom, their real dad. And because my mom couldn't stop with drugs, I can't function like those kids. I won't be able to know everything because not everything can stay inside my head. If you have one person out there that understands you and you can turn to them and talk, because it can get hard. If I didn't have Anaya, I would probably not talk to anybody, not even my family, because like she talks also when nobody can understand me, because there's times when I can get words mixed up and they can't understand a thing, and she can make it clear.
What is it like for you when Alexis is anxious?
Well, I think it's just my second nature that I just kick right in. Well, most of the time I think she's dramatic, but that's just because I am the one that steps in. And I always think it doesn't have to be that much, so I just tell her, this is how I see it. And most of the time that helps. Like, there was a time at DMV where a lady walked up to us to ask us a question, and Alexis went to go answer, but her whole sentence came out at once, and it sounded like nothing. And she ended up putting her head in her lap, mumbling to herself, crying. But without even thinking, I kicked in, I answered for her.
When you don't understand something, what do you do?
When I can't understand a word, I look up a word in the dictionary. And that normally breaks down everything. And then if I can't understand a sentence, I look up every word in the sentence in the dictionary.
Why is learning important to you?
It's important to me because when you go out there in the world, there's so many people out there who look down at you because of what you have. And you want to know all that you can so that what they say about you isn't right.
Does she often communicate some of her negative experiences with you?
Yes, she does communicate a lot of negative, and we try to turn around to show her the positive side of the world, because when you're adopted, sometimes you see that negative, and we don't want it to be her life of just thinking everything's negative. We even speak positive about her biological parents, because they weren't bad people. They just are people that use drugs.
What type of emotions do you experience when you think about your biological mother?
I'm kind of angry at her, and I'm kind of sad because she tried to get help, but she didn't make the choice to stop.
You're two of the bio kids?
Yes.
What's it like to be two biological children in a family that's adopted a bunch of kids with fetal alcohol syndrome?
It wasn't really that different, because growing up, my parents were always taking in cousins. So probably as early as we could remember, we always had cousins coming and living with us for years at a time.
My parents adopted 5. And then later down the road, another baby was born from the same parents. And my parents were like, we cannot take any more in. So my sister, who was in Las Vegas, she adopted that one. Then later down the road, another baby was born, and my parents they could not take any more in. And then my sister in Vegas wasn't in a position to take another one in, so she adopted that one. So they're all siblings, and they're all still in the family. Mm-hmm.
His biological mom is married to my uncle.
Tell me about your family.
So, yeah, it's been really great, and we have been fine this year.
So what's it like to be biological sisters and be adopted?
Well, sometimes when we look at each other, like I'll look at her when she's having a bad day, and I could tell she needs to talk. So we'll find a place just for us to go talk, which would normally be our room. And if I need somebody to talk to, I'll just look at her, and we'll just go to our room. And for me, it's not like that. For me, it's just how life is, because I was adopted as a baby, so I don't remember anything. So growing up, this is my mom and dad, this is my sisters, this is everybody I'm around is my sister and brother.
How do you feel when you sit beside your siblings?
I feel happy and I feel secure and safe.
What's it like to feel secure and safe?
Getting to know that your friends, family are there and being together with you, laughing and talking and you get to feel safe and know that no harm will come to you.
What's the best thing about being you?
Get to enjoy life and be surrounded by friends and family, always there for you.
Is there anything unique about you?
I cannot tell jokes.
You can't tell jokes?
No,
Why not?
because I'm not good at it.
Tell me about Eli.
Well, Eli, he's funny. He also loves Sonic and superheroes. He loves playing with Ninja Turtles. And he also is very short. We always make fun of him for that. And we say he's our little brother, littler than Mackenzie.
Who's older? Does that mean he bosses you around?
Not usually. I try bossing him around. Because I'm taller, but he's tinier.
Have your parents or siblings ever taught you about fetal alcohol syndrome?
They said it's just like a disorder of like it's when somebody like when your mom drinks and while she's birthing you, while you're in her stomach and she drinks and does alcohol stuff like that, and it can mess up your brain and do stuff to it like shrink and stuff like that.
What did you think when they told you that?
I thought my brain was probably as tiny as a mustard seed.
It seems like a really smart brain to me. Hey, wait a second. You said you can't tell jokes, and I think you just told a really funny joke. What advice do you have for other kids out there who are adopted?
Just try to push yourself to know as much as you can, because the world's always going to look at you as somebody that doesn't know as much as everybody else.
Is it easy for you to make friends?
Yes, because I like to talk to people, so making friends isn't a problem. It's keeping them. There's other kids that are our age, but like there's different. We're different, or they're different. It's not the same. Like kids my age, they just want to sit around on their phones. They have their own cars by now. They go to schools. We don't. We're homeschooled. Things like that are different. I picked out this dress to make with my sister. I wanted it for my birthday because I wanted to have a tea party for my birthday. And
On your 18th birthday?
yes,
How was the tea party?
it was fun. There was a lot of laughing.
What is it like to have different interests than other people your age?
Well, sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's stressful. We race because we like to always see who's faster. We like to be playing card games, whereas other teenagers, most teenagers don't. They like to sit there and talk, which talking is okay, but for a certain period. Then it's just old. And we like to run, play. We like to play hide and seek in the dark.
Is life better when you're with people who understand you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't. Well, I've never had to explain the way I talk because, of course, I look normal, but I guess I'm not. Okay, so we have friends here that live very close to us, and when we're around them, we get along perfectly because we're always racing and we're always competing or we're playing red light, green, different games. And they're 11 and no, they're 9 and 13. And we get along perfectly fine with them. We also have other friends that are my sister's friends, and they have an 18-year-old, and to me, she is like an alien because she's so glued to her phone, or she just is different. When I had friends, like, they said I wasn't as smart as them, or they said that I don't get everything and that I wasn't smart with math. I don't know everything in math, but I do know enough, and just because they know more than me doesn't mean they are smarter than me. People just need to know, like, the difference between how we are around them and how they expect us to be. And then when they do realize that, everything will go, like, it's not going to be so stressful.
What does it feel like when you don't understand something?
Sometimes it would get me like angry because I don't understand it that much. So I just like walk away from it. That's what usually happens. When I don't understand anything, I get irritated and frustrated even more and more. To where I start crying, pouting, or throwing a tantrum.
So with fetal alcohol syndrome, the alcohol attacks the brain and it eats out pieces of the brain.
With Solomon, my 6-year-old, he has fetal alcohol syndrome, and when I tell somebody or disclose that information, they always say, but he looks so normal. And they'll say that about my siblings too. They look so normal. I would have never guessed. So then we have to go down this, or when we feel like it, go down a rabbit hole to whoever will listen. And I usually take it as a teaching opportunity, and I'll talk until they don't let me.
Is it easier for you to learn in a homeschool environment?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It gives you more time than what would, like, school. You are limited on time, but when you're homeschooled, you have more time to finish it.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to go to a school that actually understood to, like, give kids time, the amount of time, not rush them to learn. And where I've gone to school before, and that is not what I had. I was always rushed. I didn't understand because nobody was there to explain it to me. And then even though they told me, they weren't there to tell me again. But I think it would be nice to go to school if there was a school like that. But for right now, the best thing is homeschool because it's just, we go at our own pace. Mom can tell me who to trust, and I believe my mom in everything. She's never lied to me once. So if she tells me I can trust that person, I will trust them. And if Anaya knows something about somebody that I can't trust, then I'll trust Anaya to tell me. And sometimes I can't remember everything. Like, we have animals and we have routines, and I can't get them down. I can't remember every single thing in them. And when something is added, I kind of get mad because my routine changes.
What's the most important thing for other people to know about Solomon?
Just that some things he needs a little extra time to do, and he does things differently, and that's okay.
What do you think, Eli? Is the world a good place or a bad place?
A good place.
Why?
Because it's like, I mean, there are bad parts, but the whole world has bad parts. But there's also good parts, and you can revolve around those good parts.
I try not to laugh right now because when they really get into the giggles, it's very contagious.
Oh, I remember that one.
So, if she starts laughing, we'll all be falling on the floor.
Well, make me a promise. You have to be super serious, because there's definitely no laughing in my interviews. And if just one of you laughs, it will ruin everything we've worked so hard on. Just one little giggle will destroy this whole interview.
I don't make promises.